it's Sam with A Fat Girl's Journey to Wholeness. I am so thrilled about this second challenge that we've been working on. Just to remind you, the challenge this month is Boundless Gratitude. To find one meal, one article of clothing. It's come to my attention that we really need to open that up to one thing to be grateful for each day, and to let it just keep growing and growing and growing. So not only will it be something that you're grateful for, but it's something that you're grateful for and you start realizing how much you impact the world, or how many people you're actually touching when you realize the things that you're using. So for example, one of my options, sorry, I see a glare coming from back there, so I want to turn so you guys aren't being blinded. And you see Christmas behind me. I'm excited about Christmas. I hope you guys are ready for Christmas too. But anyway, so here's what the Boundless Gratitude idea was all about. Was, one of the things that I was grateful for was my oatmeal in the morning. I love my oatmeal in the morning. And so I started thinking about, how can I make this Boundless Gratitude? What am I grateful for? So I start realizing, wow, not only am I grateful for the nutrition and the protein and the deliciousness of this oatmeal in the morning, but then I start realizing, oh my gosh, I've got to be grateful to the people who printed the packaging, who packaged the oatmeal, the people who drove it here, the people, and I realized that my Boundless Gratitude just kept building and building and building. And I wound up being grateful for that oatmeal the entire day, which was pretty amazing. And that's the whole idea, is that through being grateful for one thing and thinking about it throughout the whole day, you start realizing that even though things seem very small and insignificant, your choices are impacting the entire world. Your choices are impacting people from everywhere that you had no idea you were connected to. And how does that work into Fat Girl's Journey to Wholeness? I know that that's what some people are wondering. And if you remember, the first challenge was to come up with something that you love about yourself every single day. One thing. And to not change it, or to not repeat it each month. Each day, to not repeat it each day. I don't know why I am having such a hard time today. Anyway, so that was the first challenge. The second challenge was to have boundless gratitude throughout your day for one or two things, whatever. Hopefully to not change those things. But I'm realizing more that as we start to focus on this boundless gratitude, sometimes it is good to repeat it. Simply because, last week it was something about oatmeal, and this week I thought, gosh, I could keep going with oatmeal and all the people that I'm grateful to for making that breakfast possible. And so having that kind of a realization, the way that ties into being Fat Girl's Journey to Wholeness, is the connectedness that we have with our environment. And the reason why that's so important right now is because oftentimes when you are dealing with the fat girl image, or the fat guy image, the nerd guy image, whatever image it is that you are working with, that you're trying to move through and move into a place of healing so that you can change your own thought process about yourself, change the way that people perceive you. That has to start with the image or the role that you hold of yourself in your world. If your image of yourself is that you are a piece of crap and that you just don't do any good for anybody, then that's the reality that you're going to continue to have. So that's why it's so important to have these internal workings done. In my opinion, this is something that I am moving through with all of you. So hi, Solara. And so for me, that's why I wanted to be sure and share that with you, because I think that there were some people that said, what does gratitude have to do with a journey to wholeness? Well, gratitude has a big deal to do with it, because what winds up happening is that when we start seeing the ways that we impact the world around us through gratitude, then we start seeing the amazing possibilities that we have in our own lives to move forward in love and move forward in success. I believe that wholeheartedly. There's been a great deal of a challenge this month with this challenge for me. I've had a hard time with it, simply because it's natural to be thankful and grateful for an instant, and it takes a lot of work to sit and really think about all the things to be grateful for about oatmeal. I'm just going to keep using oatmeal. I want to share with you guys a little bit of the things that I came up with oatmeal. One of them was just the oatmeal itself. So then that took me to the farmer who had harvested the grain. That took me to, it's an organic substance, or it's an organic product. And so the people that went out and picked the weeds because they don't use chemicals. It took me out into the people that manufactured the combine, that harvested the wheat. I mean, it just kept going. And then you start thinking about the people who were the mechanics of that combine. And then you start, and that's just the oatmeal piece. That's not even the hot water piece, or the heating mechanism piece to get the hot water. That has nothing to do with the packaging of the oatmeal. So I mean, it just kept going, and I think I could focus on oatmeal for a whole month and continue to find new things to be grateful for. So it's really opened my eyes in a lot of ways to my connectedness to literally thousands of people through oatmeal. I mean, like when you hear that and you let it sink in, it kind of makes you say, oh, wow. If I did this with everything that I do, with the scarf that I'm wearing, if I thought about the number of people that were involved in getting this scarf around my neck today, holy tamale, think about that. I mean, that's got to be at least 100 people involved in getting this scarf around my neck. Okay, by the time we think about the people who, harvested the fibers for this and then got it spun into thread, and I mean, so on and so forth. When we start thinking about that, it's like, holy smokes. So there's 100 people around my neck. And then we think about the clothing that I'm wearing, all of the layers, all of the articles of clothing. So when we start thinking about that, it really connects us. So I just wanted to stop in. Last week I was really not feeling well, so I didn't post a video last Monday, so I wanted to be sure and get on here today. But I just think it's really important that if you haven't started yet, please focus on some Boundless Gratitude a couple days a week, if not every day. I'm realizing it's kind of tough. It's very time consuming because it just keeps building and building, like I said. I did find something really cool. So I'll just kind of show you the shape of it. It's just a heart. And in the center, it says gratitude. And then around it, it has the thing that I wanted to focus on. And then every letter of the alphabet. And so then it's like 26 things to be grateful for around that one item. So let's say oatmeal. We'll just stick with that. And so being able to go through letter A, what starts with an A that I'm grateful for about the oatmeal. And so, let's go with advertisers. Otherwise, I wouldn't know that oatmeal was there. And so then if you can imagine branching off with advertisers alone, I mean, it just keeps growing. So it's pretty amazing. And in terms of that, connecting with being fat and healing and moving through all of that stuff, or being a control freak and moving through all of that stuff, or whatever your reason for being part of the group or being interested in these videos, I encourage you to continue with the challenge, because there really is a vision at the end of the the road, that it will all come together and it'll be really helpful for all of us. So that is today's video. It's kind of short and sweet, I think. I don't know how long I've been on here. Sometimes I feel like I've just talked and talked and talked. But I did want to tell you, keep it up. I know it's challenging. This is a lot more challenging, I think, than last month's Love Yourself a Day, everyday thing. That was pretty challenging, but I think this is even harder. So let me know what you guys think. Have a great Christmas. I probably will not check in next Monday, well, for the next 2 weeks, just because, you know, my son's going to be out of daycare and we're going to be hanging out and having fun and, you know, but hopefully next time I see you, that I do a video, there won't be, you know, Christmas and boxes all behind me. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Have great holiday celebration with your family and friends. Don't forget to be grateful through all of that. And I can't wait to start to see how all of this unfolds, because I know that this, along with the love challenge, is going to come together to really help us in the goal setting and the accomplishments area. So, hey, have a great day. Take good care of yourselves. Love you. Bye.